All right, ladies and gentlemen, live as we do this here. Let's see. There's a new thing on there. Okay. Chats polls. Cool. All right. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 16 minutes as just getting on here and getting things set up for the radio stations ready to log in. Oh, well, let's see what we got going on here today. I did a meme, and the meme created a little controversy, is what that did. So if you guys are Facebook friends with me, you've probably seen the meme that I don't know. A lot of people are sharing it, but I did the Sydney Sweeney over the guy cheerleaders and Sydney Sweeney's Hams beer and the other one's Bud Light. Well, I got myself a phone call yesterday from somebody that listens to my show, and I got about a 10-minute ass chewing. We expected more of you. I'm like, really? You've listened to my program and you expected more of me than I don't get it. Sorry. And I wish I would even do the AI, the artificial intelligence side of things for my show and try to have like the raspy, sexy Sydney Sweeney voice do like an intro for me or something, but I don't really want to pay for artificial intelligence. Anyway, that's the story. Morning, Waylon, good morning. Josh, good morning. And I even tried to call them back and come into the studio and record how angry they were at me, but I could not get back in time. And they wouldn't answer their phone. So that's how it goes. Morning, Dan Brown. Morning here. Let's see. I think that's about all I got going on here. Yeah. That was my excitement for the week. See if I can find this number. Recent calls. It's a 701 number, 6706672. Whoever that was, they gave me a heck of a butt chew in there is what they did. So, morning, Dave. Good to have you along here this morning. Let's see. Karen, good morning. Good to have you along as well. And the great town of Mobridge. Actually, going to be talking to your mayor. He's going to be discussing the number one Saturday morning show with Karen. Let's see. I have a wedding today that I'm actually the minister for. That's right. I can save all of you. Morning, Mike. Taking over for Todd. Yeah, you should. That guy, you talk about people that have been in radio a long time. Todd has been one of those guys. And you have too, Mike. Good grief. Mr. Bulgy, good morning. Wish I had a webcam to show you. It's still green in the Badlands. Although this week, you get starting to see it. I mean, it's August. It's starting to kind of have a little tinge to it. But my Lord, it has never been this green this long in, I don't think, ever. Yeah, it's just really nice. Let's see. I don't know. I had the ranch rodeo in Carson last night. So as I think I got home at like 1, whatever, but Dan and Don Miller and Travis Rosso and those guys got third place. So it's kind of fun to catch up with those guys a little bit. So Dan and Don and Casey and Jesse Meyer and who else? Wayne Eckroth was one of the judges, and yeah, just a couple of people around that area. It's kind of good to catch up with those guys a little bit. Back in the home country, Waylon, I said, back in the late 1900s, I said, we chased a lot of girls from Carson, but I had to go to Slope County to finally catch one. People get a kick out of the late 1900s stuff. All right. And that's how I'm referring. When did you graduate high school? I'm like the late 1900s. So there you go. All right. So the wedding morning, Eric. Scott, the wedding today, man. I don't know how to get some pictures of this thing, but it's I found a rock cliff overlooking the Little Missouri River. So they're going to see Badlands, river bottom, a little bit of a pine forest, cedar forest, some cut banks, and even an open flat area. It's like, I mean, it is just a pretty cool little area that we're going to be doing this wedding at. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just have a lot of work to do here. We can only get there on side by side, so I have to get the community together. They're going to be coming over and helping take people up to the spot. And some of the people might not enjoy the trip as much as you think, because there's a few areas where it's going to be. When I first did it, I questioned myself, and I'm used to driving in this stuff, so it should be pretty cool. Should be a lot of fun. Eric, after 4 years, my wife's family got me to go out on a boat and fish for. Oh, good deal, good. Sometimes time heals a little bit there, Eric. Hopefully, you can get out and enjoy it a little bit. Well, good morning from Carson. What the hell are you guys doing? Are you going to the Grant County Fair up there? Because I was just there last night, man. Holy cow. What a great crowd last night. It's just supportive. So what we did, we had a kids boot scramble. I don't know if anybody's heard of a boot scramble. The kids take their boots off, and you send them off to one end of the arena, and they run back and they find their boots, and then they go find the person that's in charge, and they win something, right? Well, last night we did an adult boot scramble, and we had to break them up into two groups because there were so damn many people that wanted to do this, and we Calcutted the top four from each group off, and I don't think a single one of them went for under $1,000, man. I mean, the winner won 3,500. Whoever bought the winner in the Calcutta won $3,500. It was awesome. I mean, it was pretty cool. I love Calcutta. Next week here is the Slope County Fair in Amadon. And we Calcutta everything. I think 1 year we even Calcutted who was going to trip out of the beer gardens the first. So I mean, we got a board for everything. It's a lot of fun. All right, Oren, what are you messaging me here this morning? Foggy down in your area. Okay, South Dakota's a little foggy in that neck of the woods. Nice. So in 90 days from that, are we going to get snow or what? Well, I think so. Then on the way home, one of the guys, I don't know who it was, but their pickup went into limp mode, so they had to switch everything out of one trailer into the next trailer. Probably the dumbest thing ever put into vehicles. Two things. DEF fluid, and Ford has this thing where you stop at a stop sign, it shuts the engine off, and when you put your foot on the throttle, it starts back up again. Dumbest thing right there. Those two things. Foggy on the roads to Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, home of the crowbar. All right, stations, do a countdown here in a few. So, Eric, I used to live in Brookings for a little bit, and then I got a place on Lake Madison. And I used to go to Sioux Falls quite a little. It's back when I had money and I could actually go shop for stuff. It was pretty fun. As they say, back in the day when I was young and successful. Not so much anymore. Although I'd rather be on the radio stations over on this side of the states than over there anymore. They were feisty on the east side, man. They did not quite see eye to eye with my beliefs. Coming up stations, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Mark. Dealing with your aunt's estate? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Succession planning is pretty important. I'm learning that more and more. And it doesn't matter how old you are, if you don't have a plan somehow put together, you're going to make somebody's life a living hell. So try to put something together, and you can update it year after year or every 5 years, whatever, but try to get something together. The car show today in Carson, setting up with the Grant Sioux County, North Dakota Farm Bureau gun raffle as well. Cool. Okay. Good deal. Well, you should do pretty darn good with selling tickets over there because, my Lord, man, last night with the Calcutta, I think we brought in like 20 some $1,000 last night just on Calcutting the boot race and the teams. So, yeah, I think you should do well. All right, Gene, get ready. I'm going to be contacting you here. I got to go with that number now. My throat is shot. Yeah.
Hello.
They got a problem in the streets in Mobridge. You know, they got potholes. We got to fix that.
Okay, I'll get right on that. Let me give you the number to the councilman on that.
And the councilman? I have one of the councilman's numbers.
I call him. He has a vote. I don't.
You're not like Parks and Recreation where Ron Swanson goes and fixes it himself?
Not quite. Not quite. I do like a lot of Ron Swanson's ideology, though.
It is hilarious. I only watch a little bit here and there because I really don't care for their political beliefs on Parks and Rec at all. But Ron Swanson's the savior of that whole show.
I will definitely say the writers probably work for a parks department somewhere.
Well, man, I tell you what, that Ranch Rodeo in Carson last night was phenomenal.
Okay.
So they added one. I mean, I seen shovel races and everything. They did a calf sled race. I'm telling you, man, that is that's worth it right there.
Okay, you'll have to refresh me. Where is Carson one more time?
All right, Carson. So you got McIntosh.
Yep.
You go straight north of McIntosh, you hit Raleigh, and then you get up to a T, and you can either go right and go to Flasher, or you can go left and go to Carson.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's up in that area.
Oh, and by the way, we have a listener out in Washington, D.C., so I'll give a shout out to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listening to your pregame there, the only thing I could think of is whoever's getting married today is going to be truly, truly blessed.
Why is that?
Well, my wife and I are celebrating 23 years today, so today's a good day.
Ooh, look at you. And my wife and I are going to be celebrating 23 years next Sunday, the 24th.
Must have been it was a good week.
Can you believe that, Randy? Yeah. Let's see. What's mounted shooting, axe throwing, and free barbecue meal by D&T Catering in Carson today. So it's the Grant County State Fair today in Carson. This weekend, I should say.
Sounds like Carson's the place to be.
You know, Carson, Fallon County, Montana, Baker, Montana is having their fair over there this weekend. I believe there's another one somewhere. I can't remember where it is, but they're all over the place this weekend. And next weekend is Slope County in Amadon. So,
oh, wow.
The longest running bikini barrel race and the highest dollar money coming in this year. It's going to be over $5,000 worth it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Sarah says, can't believe you keep having him on your radio.
Yeah, well, she gets her sense of humor from me, so
Mm-hmm. She says she's going to heckle you, so there you go.
That's all right.
Oh, no axe throwing. That's on their September 30th annual meeting. Okay. Well, be more specific, Clay. Come on now. All right. 60 seconds, Gene, till showtime.
Okay.
Scott Bulgy says, happy anniversary to you, Gene.
Thank you.
Got to tell you, I'm a little nervous conducting this wedding as ordained minister. A little bit nervous about this stuff here. So,
Hey, Sam Kennison used to be a minister too, so
well, okay.
maybe channel some of that energy.
Channel it. I'll channel the inner energy. Oh, I better get my stuff going here. I don't even have that ready. Whoops.
You got sidetracked.
Yeah. Stand by. We're starting here in 20 seconds. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio, heard all across the Dakota Territory on great radio stations like KGFX out of Pierce, South Dakota, KOLY out of Mobridge, South Dakota, K-Fire 550 celebrating 100 years this year in Bismarck, Mandan, also KCJB in Minot, and the Western Edge, KLTC and 106.9. Good to have you along here this morning as we continue on. It's a little bit on the breezy side, but it's for August in the Badlands, whether North or South Dakota. It's pretty rare to see how green it still is in this country. We've been very blessed with different rain showers, and from April to now, I never thought it would look like this. So, thanks for that coming here. Well, we have Gene Cox, the mayor of Mobridge, is with me here today. So you got to give a shout out to your local radio station there, Mr. Mayor, because Karen is the hardest working person on Saturdays in Mobridge. Did you know that?
Karen's like a rock star.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Like she's like one of the few of us that, we'll give up our Saturdays and entertain people is what we do. So,
well, that's somebody has to do it.
So you and your wife are celebrating 23 years of lovely marriage today. Happy anniversary to you. Not a single fight.
Well, we won't talk about that on live radio.
Well, that she hasn't won. You got to let me finish.
Okay. Well, I was thinking more like I've always been right. It was just my tone.
There's good marriage advice. After 23 years, what would you tell somebody that is looking at getting married today? What would be that one piece of advice?
Marriage is not 50-50. It's 100-100.
And?
That's it. You just keep going.
Yeah, don't sweat the small things, right? Yeah.
Don't sweat the small thing.
Yeah. All right. So, one of the big things coming up in Mobridge in September is the big gun show. You guys been doing this one how many years now?
This will be our third year.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always big. You guys have over 100 tables, usually always sells out. And, this year it's going to be the same thing. But got a chance to win a Henry lever action rifle this year. That's pretty cool.
Well, we give away a Henry lever action to, the people that come in and pay the $10 fee. This year we're going to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. I've thrown in another rifle, I think.
Oh.
I'd have to call John Rago, find out what it is that I decided to order. I believe it's some kind of a Tika. It's a 223, and we're going to give that away to the kids that come in between like 12 and 17.
Okay, nice.
So,
nice. Of course, you got to have a parent to sign off for it.
You'll have to have the parent to sign off for all the background check, all that stuff. So, but kids at a gun show, if you're under 18, can't really buy anything at a gun show. So.
But there's more. You can. I mean, so some of these gun shows, Dakota Territory gun collectors do these all across the area. And what's nice is it's not just guns sometimes. Sometimes there's old military memorabilia. There's coins, right? There's more than just guns at some of these. So, there's always something kind of cool to look at.
Yeah, there is. There's the coolness factor. If you're into this world it depends on what you find cool. You'll find it there.
I was at a Dakota Territory gun collector show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and this must have been 20 years ago. and they had a copy. So in Slope County, North Dakota, where I live, years and years ago, they got together, or the whole community got together, and they kind of designed a book called the Slope Saga, and it's stories about all the families that originated in Slope County. And all below, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, gun collector showed there was one of the copies of that book, and he wanted $400 for it at that time. And I didn't realize it was worth it until you move to Slope County and you're like, by golly, it is worth it. But that's what you can find different things at these gun shows. And so yours coming up September 13 and 14 right there on Main Street. What's the event center called here? Because I don't want to slaughter that name.
Sheer How Event Center.
Sheer How. Okay. Good enough here. So anybody can come, all ages, however. To win the rifle, you got to be of age or have somebody sign off for it. And what else is going to, I mean, it says antique, modern guns, ammunition, reloading, equipment and supplies, old West items, knives. I'm a knife guy. I used to collect knives like left and right, and I still like them. And it's one thing a person doesn't see a whole lot of excitement over is knives anymore. Why is that?
That part, I could not even answer that question. The only thing I could say on that is one gentleman told me, he said, anybody with $200 can become a knife dealer now.
What does that mean?
Well, I think it kind of went from the collector knives, the handmade knives, on your more expensive side to, I mean, you can buy a knife at a gas station while you're getting a couple of slice of pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll tie that back into your Slope County story. You were probably like me on many instances. At the time, $400, it wasn't worth it. But now if you could go back in time and make yourself buy that book, you would.
Absolutely. Yeah. $400 back then, it was like, that was like $4,000 in today's market is when I look at that, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I walked away from M1A1, and if any gun guys are out there, they know what that is. That's a civilian version of the M14.
Okay.
And it was a Norinco manufactured, and I was not going to pay that guy back in the last century, the late 1990s. He wanted the unheard of price of $600.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't think they imported many of those Norincos into the country, so if gun collectors are listening to this, they're probably crying right now. And if I had a time machine, I'd go back and talk to myself.
Yeah, I mean, I love this old military. I have a 1903 Springfield, right? My first deer rifle. I mean, I bought it for $50. And I think I told you this story before. I mean, it's the full length of wood all the way to the end of the barrel type. 30-06 is what it's chambered in. And I took my first deer with that. I flipped up the old iron sights and I dialed it in and looked through the peep sight and shot my first mule deer with that. I just love that rifle, man. It's one of those things. It's like, I don't really want to get rid of it ever. I know someday I'm going to have to, right? But speaking of which, can a guy get those appraised at a gun show? Can a person do that there?
Yeah, there's always somebody there that knows a whole lot about them.
Because sometimes my insurance guy wants to know the value of some of this stuff. And it'd be nice to learn that, figure out what it's worth.
Well, it depends on if you're buying it or selling it, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, no, there's always somebody there that, knows a whole lot about those things. So it's always nice to get a good opinion on it.
Is there mostly, I know the AR craze, is that still going on?
You'll see a lot of the AR stuff there. Yeah. I saw something on the news the other day where I think we're in our first or second month. If JD's listening, he can probably answer it. Yeah. But I think gun sales have dropped under 1 million a month now.
1 million per month. Oh, wow.
Or whatever that million. Yeah. They were, saying, hey, gun sales are over 1 million or whatever. And I think they're saying those gun sales have dropped a little bit now.
Okay. Well, I can see, it depends on who's in the office, right? And that's for sure. We're going to continue this, though. Gene Cox is with me, the mayor. Mobridge gun show coming up in Mobridge, September 13 and 14. We'll talk more about that and a few other items coming around the corner. Stay with me, Gene, here. We're up against our first break. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition right after these messages.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, the bank that puts community in its name. We're not just any bank, we're your trusted partner in lending. With a strong commitment to our local communities, we go above and beyond to support and uplift the areas we serve. From providing personalized lending solutions to supporting local businesses and organizations, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where the community is at the heartbeat of everything we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's your tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
Welcome back, everybody. That is Benny Paulson's band Breaking Eight. And I mean, if you want to go on Apple Music and all the music sources, they got some new releases going out now. And he's been playing up a storm all across the Dakota Territory. It's pretty fun to see his band grow that way. All right. Gene Cox, the mayor of Mobridge, is with me, and we got a few comments on our last segment. Are you ready to take some of these comments?
Let them rip.
You know, you were talking about, not getting as many guns or maybe not buying. And Sarah says that's because Mom cracked down on you buying any more guns. Is that true?
Don't believe that.
Maybe for your anniversary today, maybe one of your kids should buy you something, right? I mean,
yeah, especially that one that's commenting.
Is she in DC? She's still out in DC.
Yes.
Oh man, I surprises me that she's getting along with folks out there. I'd lose my mind with the politicians.
Well, I was going to say, if she keeps chiming in, you might have to have her on at some point in time.
She says, can't get them out here. Can't get guns out there. I suppose. JD says the NICS checks were under $1 million for July, but still over 900,000 for gun sales. So, yeah, that's crazy.
So that means gun sales softening up.
Think about that, though. You know, a person thinks about gun sales in the United States. Let's just average. Okay, let's take it 900,000 per month. That's now that's not saying that every one of them is a brand new gun sale, because some people actually, when they sell a gun to somebody else, they go through the background check and do it that way, right? So, yeah, I mean, not all of them, but that's a lot of guns. I mean, if you're another country, if you're Putin sitting in Alaska right now, you know that you're surrounded. Every single citizen probably in Alaska has a firearm with them somewhere, somehow.
More firearms than people, probably.
Absolutely. It's just crazy on that. Did you see a little bit of when Putin and Trump were walking on the tarmac? Did you see what happened?
No, I did not.
I don't know if this is true or if it's AI generated on social media. It's so hard to know anymore, right? But as the Trump and introduced Putin and they were walking to the buildings, the United States military did a low flyover right over the top of them.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
That would be interesting to see. I'll have to go dig that up here this morning.
Wow. That's pretty fun to see that. All right. So that was Clay that mentioned that was under $1 million, but not JD. Sorry for that. So here's the problem. They got this, the guns in the 701 Nation. I don't know which one's commenting on what here. Text message comes in, Gene. It says they started reloading around 1977. Most of the gun guys reloaded at that time, looking for saving money and the desire for accuracy. I don't know anybody under 40 that reloads anymore. Are we seeing a dying industry in the reloading side?
I don't know. I think a lot of your competition shooters either get sponsored, so they, you with Savage and all that ammo, or you got guys like me, and I'm not under 40, but I reload all my own ammunition. So I don't know if I could really answer that question.
Well, of all the people that you know that may be 40 and under, how many of them reload?
Probably about 5, maybe.
Yeah. I know there's quite a few up in my area that still do it, that are under age of 40. But not nearly what it used to be, though.
I have had the conversation of reloading stuff, and I will say this. I'll say it on live radio. The shock of reloading is your initial investment. Yeah. After that, you're going to be okay.
And a lot of reloading is passed down family to family, right? I mean, that equipment doesn't wear out. If your dad or your grandpa did it, they're passing that stuff down. So sometimes you don't even have to, but if you're brand new to reloading, you got to go invest everything. It's a little bit of a sticker shock.
And retailers will probably hate this, but I will say, go to estate sales. Sometimes you'll see all that stuff in a box for $40.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of know what you're looking for.
Yeah. The only tough part about going to an estate sale like that is some of the powders that they're selling. I don't know if you can trust all the powders, right? I mean, you don't know how they stored it, if it was stored correctly or if they got some moisture in it or whatever, but you got to be careful on that. 701 Nation says, I personally think reloading is boring, tedious, and generally kind of sucks here. I've even taken to buying more and more of the ammo anymore. And I wonder if that's more of the younger generation's thought on that. Sometimes it's kind of a boring thing to do. And then you look at, I got a buddy up in Golden Valley. He just gets jacked up doing it.
I was going to say that's JD right there. That is JD word for word. But yeah, no, and that's his prerogative. I particularly, especially during January, February, March, when it's cold outside, I just enjoy sitting in my room doing that stuff.
Do you feel though that, I mean, reloading, a lot of people did it not only for cost savings, for accuracy, like you do. You reload yours for accuracy. Do you feel that the newer aged ammunition, the ammunition companies out there right now, are getting better and better at the consistency of what's coming out of store bought ammunition?
Yes, definitely. I will tell people this too. Again, my opinion, but I would put factory ammunition up against anything I can reload.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm surprised. To
There,
hear
I
that.
said it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to hear that because. So what company right now do you feel is at the top of their game?
Oh man, it's been a while since I've shot factory ammo, but Federal actually. I like Federal.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. Hornady does. You see a lot of Hornady ammunition. I think they're one of the top ones for selling a lot of ammunition, but I don't feel that they're the most accurate.
Yeah, and I don't know if one's better than the other per se. I've just always kind of been a Federal ammo guy because they always worked for me,
Yeah.
So that's where I will say their ammunition to me is probably the most accurate. I'm sure people are freaking out. Oh my God, Remington Winchester, whatever. But hey, this is my opinion, right?
Hey, and that's what's nice about this show. If you have a different opinion, you can call in or text me. Speaking of ammunition and shooting, we want to give Wayne Muth a little bit of credit here today. He's in Dickinson, 4 p.m. today and 9:30 in the morning for the Guns A-Blazing in the Badlands Cowboy Mounted Shooting. He's going to be competing in Dickinson. And I think that's it. It's bird shot. I'm not sure what they use, something like that. Black powder, maybe.
That mounted shooting?
Yeah.
It's black powder, and if I understand it right, and Wayne can probably correct me, but it's all black powder, but the lead kernels, I'm saying kernels, they're bigger chunks that come out of the gun and flame a little further.
Gotcha. To shoot those balloons. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. 701 Nation says, I find Fiocchi ammo to be very accurate and pretty affordable. And I've tried Fiocchi in 223, but I'm really not shooting that far. So, I mean, it shoots the same as everything else I've shot, but I really haven't tried that a whole lot. Nosler, my Nosler for my 28 is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, all those companies make good ammo, so it's just you have to pick which one you want.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, this is why coming to a gun show that you're having in September in Mobridge, this is the important. If a person wants to go down and have these conversations, one thing at a gun show nobody's short of is opinions. And am I right?
Yeah. Well, you're asking me reloading questions, and I'll answer your question with a yes, but you can ask me and you can ask 10 other guys that reload. You will leave with 11 different correct ways, and everybody else was wrong opinions.
And Wayne confirmed it. He says it's just plain black powder and still easy to miss here, which I found out in Vegas.
It's all easy to miss. It's only easy when you're a spectator.
That's right. Or sitting on a bench sighting something in. It seems easy until you get that buck fever that runs in front of you. Is what's the big one. Speaking of which, we got a second half of the program coming up. We're going to talk pronghorn antelope season. There's some scuffles in the North Dakota side, and we'll be talking about that. The mayor is with me here today. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, second half of the program coming up your way right after these messages.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, the bank that puts community in its name. We're not just any bank, we're your trusted partner in lending. With a strong commitment to our local communities, we go above and beyond to support and uplift the areas we serve. From providing personalized lending solutions to supporting local businesses and organizations, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where the community is at the heartbeat of everything we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Boat Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Boat Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
On that road, don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
Welcome back, everybody. Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors across the Dakota Territory. Thanks for tuning in today. And a big thanks for the community of Carson, North Dakota. Grant County Fair is going on in Carson area. Had me up last night. I was the announcer and auctioneer for their ranch rodeo. And man, what a doozy it was. It was a good time the whole weekend here. You can enjoy a lot of that up in Carson. I'm sure a lot of other county fairs going on. My guest today is Gene Cox, the mayor of Mobridge, and also the head honcho of the Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Gun Show coming up September 13, 14. Whether you like it or not, you're in charge of this now, Gene. But besides the gun show, there's more going on in Mobridge that weekend.
Yeah, that is, they call it Fall Festival now. That is the old Beef and Fun Day weekend. That goes back to like the 1970s, I believe. So,
what was it called? The Beef and Fun Day?
Beef and Fun Day.
I like it.
They used to have like a free beef feed. If I understand the history right, the bridge was out. And then when the bridge got repaired, it opened back up, to all the West River traffic, all I guess the cattle, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like an appreciation. So, but yeah, there'll be a car show, all kinds of stuff going on.
It's a person doesn't realize here, that when a person looks at crossing the Missouri River, there's not many places going on that at this point. I mean, Mobridge, Bismarck, and what's the next one south is down by Pierre?
Gettysburg, and then Pierre.
That's right, Gettysburg and Pierre. So when you're looking at bringing cattle to livestock markets, they didn't have many options. They had probably go somewhere else, and it has probably put a lot of miles on. That's an interesting little tidbit of history there for Mobridge.
Yeah, when you look at a map, there's not many bridges. There's only four of them. Yeah, Bismarck, Mobridge, Gettysburg, and Pierre.
Yeah. So one of those guys. I remember they were talking about putting one at the casino in Fort Yates years and years ago. I don't know if that is ever going to happen or not.
Boy!
I think the old DAPL protest kind of put that on hold for a while.
Well, I was going to say, then you'd have to deal with the Corps of Engineers in there too. So
yeah. Well, Levi Nelson, good luck to you. He's on his way. He's listening on his flights to Alaska right now. He's heading up that way and doing some hunting and fishing. So good luck to you there, buddy. John Armin was supposed to come on this morning, and he's antelope hunting in Wyoming. And so everybody's hunting. It's hunting season right now in a lot of areas. And
at least John's antelope hunting.
Well, let's talk about antelope season. When is the last time you got a tag in South Dakota there, Mr. Mayor?
Let's see, what is this? Coming up on 25. I'm thinking 21, really? I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a point system as well?
Yes.
Okay. So a buddy of mine, Jesse, he's got 11 or 12 points and he still didn't get drawn.
Okay.
Which I feel is quite a bit.
Well, and where I go, there's more tags. There's more tags available where I've been going, but I know Game and Fish cut a lot of the tags back based on their survey a few years ago.
Yeah. So South Dakota ranks up there, one of the top states to get an antelope tag for non-residents too. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, there's like second or third in the antelope season, or in the states. There's South Dakota's right there. Wyoming, I think, is number 1. Montana number 2, and South Dakota ranks number 3 for non-residents to get in there and be able to hunt. And I used to go to an archery hunt in South Dakota down in Hardin County all the time. And then this adulting thing came in, and I thought I needed more cattle, so it gets a little bit harder to do that. So
adulting is a 1-star rating, right?
Well, on the North Dakota side, they changed things up a little bit. And that was as a landowner, if you had at least a quarter of land or more, you could have a gratis tag. And usually that was pretty much a guaranteed antelope tag, pronghorn antelope. Now, there were some years where they closed antelope season down for, I think it was like 6-7 years for quite a while, to build up that herd again a little bit. And they closed, not only did they close it down for lottery, but gratis too. It was like closed. And then when they started opening up some of the units, they were opening it up, and some people were unhappy that gratis tags were guaranteed. So the landowners would, if there was 10 tags available in this unit, They usually always went to the landowners, which I saw no problem with, right?
Mhm.
I really didn't. So now they took that away. The landowner tags for pronghorn season is a lot like elk season. It's a landowner lottery, and then you have the option to go into the regular lottery. And a lot of landowners are that have not gotten their gratis tag this year are a little bit upset. They didn't quite understand that the legislature, when this was going through the legislature, and it passed. So whether you have land or not, you're not guaranteed to tag anymore for pronghorn season, which is a big change for a lot of people in North Dakota. It really is.
I followed along with that, and I guess I don't necessarily agree with. I do not agree with the way the legislature went. You know, you and I were kind of maybe talking a little bit in the break. I think the landowners ought to get a tag regardless. It's their land.
Yeah. And I think it's going to cause a little bit of little riffles. You know, I mean, if Joe Schmo from a town gets a tag and comes out and says, "Hey Scott, can I come out and go chase some antelope on your place?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a landowner and I didn't even get a tag. I don't. I just see that causing a little bit of issue. Maybe I really do.
A little bit.
Well, I don't know. The reason I say a little bit is because there's a lot of folks that don't like chasing pronghorn antelope. I love it. I think pronghorn's probably the best tasting wild game that there is out there that I've had at to this point in my life. Okay. I really think it's great tasting meat. Some people
I agree.
really don't care for those animals, right? And maybe they could care less about it. But so that's why I say maybe the landowners are going to get a little bit kind of pissy about this, right? I think they are.
Well, I look at it like, and I don't own land. I do not own agricultural land, but I look at it the same way. It would be my place if I wanted a tag, and you told me I couldn't get a tag. It'd be tough for me to let the next guy go on there too. You know, if they weren't a family member or something.
It would be a little bit tough. You know, that's one of the conversations you have to have with them a little bit. And I'm getting endless calls from people on elk season coming up here for shortly in the first part of September, and they're like that too. They're trying to make those connections, but by golly, I tell you what, the pronghorn one, that one's going to be tough to swallow for some folks, I think, out that way.
Well, do it with deer. I mean, I think more people deer hunt than pronghorn hunt. Do the same thing with deer. Say, okay, landowner, that big buck you've been watching, nope, you didn't get a tag this year. Sorry.
Yeah. And Levi just pointed out here in North Dakota too, if you do draw your gratis tag, they take all your antelope points away as well. So you got to start just like everybody else and start building up points to work your way up for that gratis tag or even the regular lottery. Crazy.
Well, and we were talking, that's the difference, I think, between legislative action and a commission action.
South Dakota's commission, North Dakota's legislature. Yep.
Yeah, we have commissioners appointed by the governor on, I believe, 2 or 3 year terms.
Okay. Do you find that to be more beneficial? So here's my worry about that, right? It depends on which governor is going to appoint these guys or gals.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, for the most part, I think South Dakota does a great job of what they're doing. North Dakota does a great job in some things, and I think some of the landowner issues maybe could be tweaked a little bit, but all it is sit down at the table and actually talk about it. We I had a great conversation with Jeb Williams up here on some things, and by golly, we got some things worked out, and we saw a middle ground, which was awesome to sit down and talk. Which do you think is better, legislative side or having a commission side where the governor can choose who he wants or she wants to be put on that commission?
I'm going to side with commission just because
Okay.
it's more so of what I know. And when you appoint commissioners, to me, that's the benefit of being the governor. I know that sounds
Right.
tacky, but you get to appoint the people that you think are right for the job to perpetuate in this case, the Wildlife Commission. So I have never been totally upset over an appointment, but there again, I don't really follow it that closely other than who's on the commission.
Yeah. And I, not dealing with it myself, my short stint that I lived in South Dakota, I really never had to worry about that because I was an upland game bird hunter, man. I I used to hunt birds and birds and birds and birds, and now I don't know if I could eat another pheasant for a long, long time. I had to live on those things. So,
I I got a pheasant with my car the other day. That's about the extent of my pheasant hunting.
I think this year I need to go out and do more wild upland bird hunting. We have such a plentiful uh, population of grouse out here that it's just crazy how many grouse are here. And my buddies down by the South Dakota border have pheasant galore. And it's just I think I need to dust off the old shotguns and do that.
I have a side-by-side 28 gauge I take. I enjoy that. The ammo's light. It doesn't abuse me. I took it hunting one time. Some guys laughed at me, asked me what I was going to shoot, sparrows or whatever. And after I got a limit of birds, they quit laughing.
Exactly. Question comes in from Brian. He says, Gene, what's the frequency of the commission meetings in South Dakota? Because legislation session up in North Dakota is only every other year.
I know I can go online, and I want to say they meet more than 6 times a year. There's a couple of months they don't meet, but I mean, you can go on the Game and Fish website, and they've got their minutes and all of that stuff. You can follow along. So,
yeah, it's but they meet quite often. I mean, every year, I think you're right, about 6 to 8 times is what I think they meet.
Yeah,
and now that's it. When the commission says goes in South Dakota, right?
I believe so. Once they finalize those rulings,
if they say, you know what, we're gonna give just the mayor of Mobridge a tag for Harding County, South Dakota, and you're gonna make this work, and the rest of the game fish are like, okay, that's how it works, right? In the North
I don't think it's that extreme.
it's a theoretical, right? But
okay,
I mean, they have the final say on things, and in North Dakota, it's got to go through legislative action, and a lot of that is just lobbying to get it done.
I believe,
and that takes such a long, long time. So I don't know. Can you go and speak in front of the commission in South Dakota if you have concerns or questions?
I believe you can. I have written, public comments on things that I've either agreed with or disagreed with, and that's all presented to the commission. So yes, I have written. Of course, you got to have your name, address, and all that stuff on there, which is fine. If I'm going to say it, I'll put my name to it.
Yep.
And I've commented on a few things, and probably the last one I commented on was they were changing the mentored antelope to private land only. And I commented on that because when my girls were young enough, we hunted on public land, and kind of that last couple of years they would have been able to get a mentored license.
Right.
They switched it to private land. So I was not in agreement with that, but that's the way it goes.
Right. Well, Brian says it seems that that would be a way better way to keep a pulse on things. And Orrin Lesmeister, who is a legislator down there for many years, he just sent me a text. He says the commission sets the rules and the pricing, but the legislator can override some of that in South Dakota.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we got listeners all over, Gene. This is why we have a live talk show here and cover so many issues all the time.
Yeah, because I am not that. I guess you could say I'm pretty much happy with the way the Game and Fish does things. That's why I don't know all the intricacies, because I'm not like following it that close. So maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud, but typically if you're not paying attention that close, that means you're satisfied with what they're doing.
I feel that that's a job almost like being a judge at a ranch rodeo. It's a thankless job, right? I mean, you're trying to do the best you can to manage what you can, and there's always going to be somebody that's not happy.
There will be somebody not happy with the way you did something, guaranteed.
Yeah. So Wayne comments in here. He says, in some states that are more liberal leaning with a commission, they have appointed anti-hunting commissioners, and the outcomes have not been very good for hunting, which is what I was trying to get across. Thank you, Wayne, for putting that out there. Say you have a Tim Walz governor of Minnesota, and he puts a commission together that he doesn't want anybody hunting. He thinks that bear hunting and wolf hunting and coyote hunting is just a terrible, terrible thing. They could really lean that commission one way or another, couldn't they?
I think you're seeing a lot of that with the introduction of predators in other states
Right.
as,
Colorado. Yeah.
as a form of control. We don't want hunting control, but we want to bring back that predator. So then you start getting into the ranch issues, the non-wildlife issues.
Well, okay, so predators are opportunists, right?
Correct.
I mean, if they're going to go out and hunt something down, are you going to go after a 2-3 day old calf that can't really move very good? Or are you going to go after a mule deer that can run 30 miles an hour, right? I mean, they're opportunists. So,
Yeah, they have to look
yeah.
at their net calories gained as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the biggest thing where I tell people, I said, if you're having issues with deer or elk or any of that stuff, I said, don't complain about it because the solution is to bring bigger predators to take care of that. Where a lot of people would say, well, if I complain about it, maybe I'll get a tag. That's not how it works at all.
Well,
Or maybe it
when I
does.
lived
Maybe it does. Maybe I'm not complaining enough. I don't know. Maybe it does work that way.
Well, when I lived, you talk about predators. I lived in Colorado in the late '90s, and Estes Park is up in the
Yeah.
Rocky Mountains there, and there were complaints about pets disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, your pet's probably not running off. It's a prey animal, whether you want to, or it's a food animal for an opportunist out there. So when you want to start bringing that back, you also have to look at that aspect of it too. Not only the rancher, but the suburbanite.
Right. Right.
So
yeah, easy pickings, man. I mean, I know I got coyotes coming into the yard, going after my barn cats, and that's where a lot of those go missing too.
Yeah, they don't just eat wild animals; they'll get a domestic animal as well.
Anything that they're hungry and that's easy pickings, man. That's how it is. All right, so we got 2 minutes here left, or less than 2 minutes. Tell us a little bit more. It was gun show. What's going on here? What day? And the events around Mobridge.
The gun show is September 13th and 14th. That's also Fall Festival, so there'll be a car show. I'd have to go look at the list of all the stuff going on, but if you can't find something to do in Mobridge on that weekend, that you didn't want to do anything.
Yeah. Mobridge is such an easygoing town, man. It's so friendly.
And if you work up an appetite on that Saturday, I got to plug the fire department. They'll be having a sausage and pancake feed on Sunday morning. So, and if you go away hungry from that, I don't know what to tell you.
You got a hollow leg or something, huh?
You got a hollow leg, yeah. So
we got
to get carved up.
Last night in Carson, we did a kind of a patriotic thing, and we welcomed the fire department in and the local sheriff and the ambulance squad. And, that's one thing. Rural communities, we rely on these people, right? I mean, if a fire happens and your local fire department comes out, you don't get a bill, and it's mostly volunteers that do this. So, whether firefighting, ambulance squad, ambulance, you might get a bill on that one, but your police and law enforcement, just a big thanks to all you guys that are out there, especially the volunteers that make that happen. And some people see some tough things, man. I tell you, it's one of the things when you're on a volunteer squad, you might run across some things you don't want to see.
Yeah, there is an unsavory side to that.
So, all right, well, I got some more texts coming in. We'll cover these in the after show a little bit because talking about governors, and we can get into that a little bit on the after show. But anyway, Gene, thank you so much for coming on the program here today and pinch hitting here. Hopefully we'll see if John Armin gets on next week, and he shot himself an antelope down there in Wyoming. So thank you so much, friend. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
All right, and your daughter's probably going to chime in here at the after show too. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Dakota Prairie Outdoors here on a Saturday. You can catch my daily program and all these great radio stations, and I appreciate them each and every day. Have a great weekend. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur and wool, and enjoy a beautiful Saturday all across the Dakota Territory. Have a great weekend. All right, stations, thank you. Gene, we'll give them a few seconds here to make sure that they get us off air, I hope, anyway.
Okay.
I didn't have a chance here. It's a 507 number. Is such a bad governor. I don't even think he knows what a wolf is, or waltz. I guess I bet he meant to say waltz, and he auto corrected it. But yeah, that's the thing that would scare me, is having a commission with a liberal agenda.
Oh yeah.
That would scare me a little bit. However, same thing in the legislature. We're doing the same thing. North and South Dakota both has the same issues. The population's on the east side. And, you take Fargo, they have like 10 districts just in the inner city of Fargo. And I'm sure Sioux Falls does too. Brookings, Watertown aren't as big, but I'm sure they have a couple districts in each one. Where you get in the western side of the state, for where I am, you go from the South Dakota border up to Killdeer. That's one district. And it's huge. It's just like South Dakota. I think Harding County is like, there's not many districts over there. Maybe a couple in Rapid City, but
we're District 23. Harding County is actually District 28. And those two districts go from like Harding County down to Butte County, and then clear across to butts up to Aberdeen.
Yeah. So they're big areas.
They're big areas, and those two areas have 2 senators and 4 representatives between them. So,
and I don't think that's right that they're doing it by population, because I don't think that Sioux Falls should have 10 districts and cover the size of, I don't know, a township. Okay, let's say a township. And you got, Northwest South Dakota has a big district like that, and they only get 2 senators, and Sioux Falls is getting probably 10, 12. I don't think that's right.
Well, but when you go on population, that's the way it is.
That's the problem. I think they should do it on land.
You look at our representation in D.C. We only have 1 representative.
Yep.
North Dakota has 1 representative. So you've only got 1 voice in, 435 representatives. So
it's kind of it's 50-50 for me, whether commission or legislature, because you're always going to fight some type of liberal agenda coming in there, no matter what.
Well, more to that, again, my opinion, the after show opinion, you start looking at the wolf, the lion, all those apex predators. To me, a lot of that is spun on, we need to bring these animals back because they're all part of nature. Well, that urban mindset, bad word, but that urban mindset, we do that. Nature, we love nature. We need to be in tune with nature. Maybe in 1632, when that's how nature worked, but I like going down to the grocery store and buying beef or pork or whatever that is agriculture. I don't want those predators eating my agriculture.
Exactly.
So as we've grown our food supplies to feed the country, some of that stuff is not there. The wolf, the bear, all of that stuff. So
yeah. Well, whether commission or whether through legislature, I'm telling you right now that it's probably, especially in North Dakota, it's they put these term limits on it. The entire government in North Dakota is going to be run by lobbyists in the next 8 years, just because they're the only consistent thing that's going to be in the legislature each and every year.
I'm not so sure that won't happen in South Dakota at some point.
I think everywhere you go, lobbying is a huge moneymaker.
Yep. And I've gone down to Pierre to testify on a few things, but, as an individual, I got to take time off work. I got to drive down there. I got to, present my case. And then there's a whole bunch of lobby groups in there as well that, that guy's getting paid to be there to do that. So whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the way it is today.
Yeah. 701 Nation. I love lobbyists who represent my view, of course. I like that.
Yeah.
So they also say each county should have the same representation no matter the population. Like Slope County should have just as much pull as Cass County. I agree with that. I think That would be great. You know, we got 52 counties in North Dakota, I think.
Okay.
I feel bad. I feel bad. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I think that would be
There's 30
plenty. That would be one.
There's 30
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One representative from each county. That's all we really need.
Now, there's 35 districts in South Dakota. So each one of those has a senator and two representatives.
Representatives, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of that stuff is. Hopefully, your Senate can carry. You know, your representation in the Senate can carry more weight. But you got a lot of senators from the urban areas as well here.
Yeah, we are too. Yeah, even in our district over here, our representation went, except for one guy, is people that moved into the oil patch.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little bit.
Well,
I don't care for that.
Every year I forget 10 years. Again, I'll get corrected. If Orrin's listening, he can correct me. Because I went and kind of lobbied or testified or whatever, but they redraw the districts based on population. And part of our district does creep a little bit into Aberdeen. And, you know, for lack of a better term, I don't want our district to creep into Aberdeen because it's tough to get a voice when you have a larger urban area.
Yeah. Orrin just texted, he said, it's all about education. The one thing I always try to do is educate the urban legislators about how their wants and needs affect the agricultural side, which that's why we get along, Warren. Okay. Because I see that. And that's how it used to be, you know, and that's the scary part is it's becoming more and more urbanized. It's in Minnesota. He says, for as big as Minnesota is, 4 cities elect senators and the governor. Duluth, the Twin Cities, Moorhead, and Rochester. And that's pretty much how it is, I think, in every state. I mean, you're looking at the population is where everything's going to come. But anyway, I need to I got a lot of work to get this wedding set up here today. And so I'm going to get that done, man.
Okay, well, you've got a uphill row to hoe here.
Hey, it's good because I got to clean the shop and I got to clean up things. So it's time to do that. Thanks.
And one of these days, while he's still listening, I would like to meet Orrin sometime. So
yeah, it'd be nice to do a show in person with him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because my daughter interned down there in Pierre, and she showed me around, and I said, I want to meet Orrin Lesmeister, you know, because he was right across the river in that district, and she took me to his office, and he was not there that day.
Oh.
So maybe one of these days our paths will cross again.
All right.
So
Sarah says, I'll see everybody at the mob gun show. So. All right, man. You have yourself a good day. See ya.
Thanks, Scott. Bye.
You bet. YouTubers, thank you guys. Thanks, Waylon. Appreciate it. And Brian and all those guys. You guys have a good one. I'm going to go get some stuff done. Have a good day.